Hello, welcome to the World Retail Congress. I'm joined here by three retail experts and we'll be interviewing them on the face of retail at the moment. So firstly, gentlemen, if you'd like to introduce yourselves, starting with Peter.
Surely, I'm Peter Gold, and at CBRE I lead the cross-border retail team for Europe, Middle East and Africa.
I'm Mike Shearwood. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Aurora Fashions and Karen Millen.
And I'm Jerome Griffith. I'm the President and CEO of Tumi.
Great, thank you. I suppose the first question I'd like to ask is, what's the most exciting developments and growth opportunities that you see in retail at the moment? And if we start with you, Jerome.
Currently, we have a lot of opportunities globally. We're opening a lot of new stores. We're still under-stored out there. There's many markets where we're not represented today. Web has been large for us as well. Our e-commerce business in each one of the countries where we're operating currently is growing at a faster clip than our store businesses are. And finally, in true multi-channel fashion, we're in several department stores and some smaller specialty stores on a global basis, also a growth area for us.
Okay, thank you. Mike?
I think e-commerce really is exciting for retail because it's enabling us to enter into new markets that previously we may not have entered into, to give us a sense on whether there's an opportunity there to open a bricks and mortar store. I think we would preferably always like to have bricks and mortar and the digital presence in countries, but digital allows you to go into those new markets without that risk. So I think it's a really exciting opportunity to expand outside of your home market without busting the bank.
From my perspective, having just returned from Shanghai, I think new markets certainly represent a key opportunity for retailers. China is obviously a huge opportunity. You've got to navigate it right. Equally, we've had some teams over from South America, and I think that's another area that is a considerable opportunity for brands. Again, navigated in the right way. And as we've heard today around multi-channel, I think it's making retailers create a greater retailing experience, and I think some retailers are really embracing that, and retail stores today are a really exciting place to be, perhaps more so than they were years ago.
I mean, how do you feel technology is changing the face of retail as multi-channel does continue to grow? Peter? Sorry.
From what I've heard and seen in terms of the research we've been doing, I mean, technology is touching everything, and it is changing the way in which consumers behave. It's changing the way in which retailers can behave. Mike referenced geo-localized personalization, which is just like, sounds bizarre, but the way in which it works is considerably significant in the way in which you can price differentiate with the consumers in different markets. And I think inventory management is something else that I know Mike champions as well, which is going to technologically is going to change the way in which retailers operate. Mike?
Yeah, I mean, technology is moving at an incredible pace, and the consumer is driving that technological change. We hear from your research about retailers talking about putting kiosks in their stores. Why would you want to put a kiosk in your store? The consumer's coming in with their own hardware. It's about making your software work with their hardware, and that way you can interact with the consumer on their terms. So if I look at the mix between mobile, tablet, and PC, I think currently we're looking at about 10%, 20%, and 70%, and that's going to change significantly to the point where in new markets, we're looking at South Africa at the moment. We know that mobile and tablet are going to represent 70% from day one, because those markets are much more accessible. That technology is more accessible to the consumer there than a traditional PC-based business. So it's about integrating your technology with the consumer's technology, and it just gives you lots of opportunities to grow.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Mike. Our e-commerce platform has changed a lot over the last 3 years. We've changed platforms 2 years ago. Our business has skyrocketed from an e-commerce standpoint. Our social media interaction is huge, whereas 12 months ago it was almost non-existent. And for us, even in the marketing side, because of the changes in social media and the change in technology there, most of our marketing dollars tend to go towards that media.
Great. I mean, how do you think that affects the future of the bricks and mortar stores?
Doesn't affect it at all. I think it makes it stronger because just the total, one group is or one area of distribution is good, but when you combine them, the total is bigger than the sum of the parts.
It's true.
Do you have anything to add to that, Peter?
Yeah, and again, we were I guess CBRE, being a real estate business with, at the heart of real estate and our clients, etc., we were pleasantly surprised about the role that the store plays in multi-channel, the way in which retailers find that multi-channel is driving business to the stores. So I think, whereas there was always a concern and anxiety that the whole way in which consumers would engage with retail would change radically, in the future, I think what we're seeing is really not that situation at all, and we're seeing a very complementary role playing out with technology and with the retail stores.
The consumer just wants they want a personal relationship with the brand, and the technology is enabling you to do that electronically and digitally now as well. So it's not just about going into the store and being a great customer and having that relationship with somebody in the store. They can do it online.
The consumer determines where they want to shop, and you need to be there for them.
Okay. And how do you think landlords need to respond to that and the growth of multi-channel?
I think firstly they need to embrace multi-channel. They shouldn't see it as a threat. They shouldn't see it as competition. I think they need to be really engaging with their clients in terms of their retailers to say, how can we be facilitating multi-channel? How as we as a landlord can be ensuring that our brand and our shopping centre has a strong multi-channel presence as well as what the retailers are doing. So I think it's really important. I know Mike, you're a strong advocate of that as well.
Yeah, the landlords need to be sensible, and if they continue to work in partnership with retailers as they have been doing more so over the last 5 years, then we'll all get through these difficult times, because economically the world is in a difficult place. Everything is moving east. If landlords work in partnership with retailers, then we can find a way through it. But it's about not being greedy and not feeling frightened or threatened, because retailers can use the digital channels to support the success of their bricks and mortar presence.
Yeah, the multi-channel just makes each brand stronger. And if I was a landlord and looking at who I wanted to have in my areas, I'd look at the strength of the brands out there and the people that are really embracing multi-channel, and go to make sure that my group of stores or group of brands that I had in my portfolio really represents the best of the best out there.
Every piece of research that's done says the consumer looks online, researches online, and a lot of the time goes into stores. So you can't discriminate against it.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, gentlemen, and that's been an interview for WRC TV.
Thank you.
Thank you.